Hi beautiful people, this is Serena. Welcome back to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to do the theme of how to get what you want. So we have three piles. The first one is the Selenite, the second one is the Citrine, and the third one is a man-made stone. It's a sparkling stone. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the camera, but yeah. So you can pause the video and feel which pile is calling you the most. And when you're ready, you can go to the description box because I'll put the timestamps there. Alright? So let's go. Hi, first pile, you who chose this selenite. This is your reading. So I pulled some cards from the Sufi tarot, and in this first position I asked your guides, the universe, uh, to give a card that represents your desire, and you got the Son of Staffs, that would be the Knight of Wands in the traditional tarot. And you see the candle here burning magically with this glitter all around, and the knight here charging in his horse passionately, and you see the butterfly here, which indicates transformation. So I see that you are quite motivated to get the desire. It's something that pumps you up, you have a lot of enthusiasm towards it, and you are taking diligent actions toward it. And maybe this involves like a physical transformation too, or a massive transformation, and you are like working really hard to get it. So I see that you are actually taking physical steps to accomplish this desire. And in the second position here, I asked if this desire is aligned with your highest good, and you got two cards, the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Wands. And there are some messages for you in this pile. I even at the end I will show you the I Ching that you got as an advice for your overall situation. But with this combination here, I got two messages that you kind of have to balance out, as you see here in the temperance card. So you can hear the message and see in which of the poles you identify with the most. First here with the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Staffs, I immediately got the idea that maybe you are overworking yourself, like you're doing some hard work with this sheer enthusiasm here, as we saw. But maybe with the Ace of Swords, there would be a smarter way to do it. With the Ace of Swords, maybe, as we see in this card, there is this man that is carrying this piece of bamboo, of wood here in his back, maybe to the uh, house here. Maybe, I don't know, he could construct a way to, I don't know, to deliver this to the house, make a path, I don't know, with water, with rivers, I don't know. I have no idea of engineering, but maybe there would be like an easier way to make this locomotion, Maybe he could buy like a horse, or there would be some ways that he could like transport this in a lighter way. Maybe he could construct with these same woods like a wooden car, so that he can put pile the woods and then he could carry it uh, with more ease here to his objective. So I immediately got this idea that like your sheer enthusiasm, your discipline is commendable, but maybe there is a better way in which you can do this, like a smarter way. And here in the third position, I asked the cards to show a way that you can get your desire done. And you got two cards here, the Seven of Swords in reversed, in which we see this man carrying these swords and leaving two behind. And he, in this card, is really put an emphasis on this idea of taking a detour, but this detour is like not the right path, because the right path would be this one that is bathed in light, and the other path is like shady. We don't know if he's doing a right action. He looks like he's fleeing, you know. And we see together with that Seven of Swords in reversed, the Temperance card in reversed. That is a card of balance. That's why you see the angel, and half of the card is the earth, and the other half is like the water. That calls this necessity to balance the physical with the spiritual or the emotional. And I see that one of the possibilities that this is say the cards are like warning you, like, be careful of your body, of your mental health, because even though you are working really hard, maybe you are extenuating yourself, and maybe you are like overlooking your body or your mental health in the process because of this like Seven of Swords in reverse, because sometimes the Seven of Swords means that we are overlooking something. Like maybe we know, oh my god, like my body is aching all over, but let's continue do the work because I'm determined to get this goal and I need to be disciplined. And although this is commendable, the rest is a necessary part, and this will be really highlighted by your eating at the end. I love these readings because, like, when I'm getting the cards, I get these feelings, and then comes the eating and just like completely confirms my intuition. It's really amazing when this happens. So I think for most of you of this pile, this is a message that you need to balance like hard work with time of rest and relaxation. Like, don't overlook your body or your mental health, your emotional health, and be sure that you are balancing this two so that you can remain like functional, and so that you can keep this beautiful pace, and to remember that the rest is a necessary part of the journey, right? You don't have to worry that your flame of your desire will be diminished if you take a rest, take a pause, because sometimes I think people fear that if they stop just for 1 second when they're doing something that is really hard, and we know that is really hard because, like, for a butterfly, to transforming a butterfly, it's a really excruciating process, there's a lot of pain involved too in the transformation. It's not easy, right? So sometimes we feel like, oh, if I just take a little rest here in this grass that is really fluffy and it is really beautiful, I'm 100% sure that I I will feel so tired, my muscles will be so in pain that then won't have the courage to arrive in my house by the time that I should. And then I would just like want to lie on the grass and just stay with my belly to the sky. And I won't feel motivated to pick up this heavy burden again and to continue what I should. So I prefer like to hurt my muscles and continue to do that, because in that way I think I will arrive that. So this is like an example of your thought process using the image. Of course, that maybe this is not like something physical for all of you. This can be mental, emotional, whatever it is. Um, but like the cards are saying, like your desire is so strong. It's not something that will just like die because you took a moment to rest, you know? And I think if you took a moment of rest, you would like then have better ideas with the Ace of Swords here on how to make this thing that you want, the process to get there lighter, you know, with this moment of rest, you know. Sometimes we have the best ideas when we're doing nothing, right? So maybe in this moment of rest, you get this excellent idea that will make the process so much easier for you to keep going uh, in a much like effective way than you are doing right now. So that's why the angel of temperance appeared here. And even like I get this idea that these ideas will be divinely inspired. Of course, that like you don't need to do anything like illegal or like to take a detour that it's going to hurt yourself or others here, but maybe like you have an amazing idea how to make the process lighter at the same time, like while resting and not overlooking your health in the process. And the last card before we go to your eating is the Six of Cups, and I asked the cards to tell more about like what should you do after you got what you desired, because sometimes we are so focused on what we want that we forget like the after process of getting what we want. And so I just took this card to see like an advice for you after you get what you want. And here appeared the Six of Cups, and you see this woman and her heart's like, oh, I'm wishing this. And you see almost as if it is a younger version of herself dancing in this white rose here. And the Six of Cups is a card that sometimes talks about childhood or the past in general. So I think one thing that you should be aware that after you get what you desire here, maybe you still won't feel 100% satisfied, because maybe like there is an emotional aspect of this thing that you want to get, that maybe if you focus just on the physical or just in getting that in the faster way possible, that maybe you'll be overlooking. Maybe to you don't see that underlying this wish there is like this desire for the emotion underneath the desire. So maybe it's emotion of happiness, of joy, of maybe reproducing something of your childhood, maybe a good feeling or something like that. And there is like almost like just try to recreate something for your childhood, and maybe realize that the past is the past and you are you right now. Maybe this desire, after you accomplish it, you will need to kind of face childhood trauma, and maybe to look back in the past and make amends with it. Maybe you need to forgive someone. Maybe, like, for example, if we are talking about like your desire is to get really good success in your career, and you accomplish it, but then like you suddenly feel really guilty because you see like other members of your family, or maybe you remember that your parents didn't have this success in their career, so maybe you feel guilty about it. So this is just an example of how this could play out. But maybe after you achieve what you want, these childhood or past themes, they resurface so that you can revisit them and liberate them, so that you can fully enjoy what you've built without guilt, without any lingering feelings. So now we are going to enjoy reading the I Ching that you got. So I'm going to show you the book. It's in Portuguese, but I hope that you can see it. Of course, I'm going to do some instant translation for you. And you got the 52 hexagram, and it's called This Stop. Can this stop? And it says like so: this stop is an inevitable part of the way. The inactivity is the other face of action. Um, it's time for you to get away of anything that is causing you tension, uh, and to calm yourself down. Only then will be possible for you to retake action. So this trigram is like is the double time the mountain trigram. So it's like double time they stop. So it's like a double stop. So you see that the same trigram in the superior part is the same in the inferior, making this figure here the hexagram. So it says like that the image is like a mountain besides a mountain, and is the image of quiet. Just then the superior man will stop his thoughts and not force the situation. And the judgment is, when it comes the time to stop, it's better to do so immediately. The inaction is the other face of the action, or rather, its complement. The time and the movement follow the laws of nature. Drastic changes must be avoided, and they make they complement with, it's really difficult to not let yourself be invaded by restlessness, but it's necessary to contain yourself, to recuperate your calmness, to stop for just then to move on. It's important to avoid tension when there is time. After that, you can recuperate the necessary tranquility, and in this way you can better judge the things with more equilibrium, and therefore face the facts in a way that is more adequate. The stop is the end and the beginning of every movement. Um, I think it's really important, like they stop, the rest is a necessary part of any ending and beginning of any movement. So now is the time for you to recuperate, to relax, to make this stop so that you can move forward with renewed forces and better judgment. And I hope that this reading has helped you. And bye bye. Hi, second group, you who chose the Citrine stone. This is your message. Um, I've got some cards from the Sufi Tarot for you, and I also put some I Ching for you that I will review in the end of the reading. Um, in the first card, you got the Judgment card. I asked in this first position to the cards to describe the nature of your desire, the theme of your desire, so that I could understand better. And you got like a major arcana, the Judgment card. So we see that your desire is really, really strong. Like maybe it's a desire to a completely different life, because the Judgment card there is this theme of like a resurrection. And we see like the divine feminine here playing the flute, and its song bringing clarity, honesty, discernment, and waking up the people that are in these cocoons to a better life, to a new life, to a life of transformation here, as we see with the butterflies. So maybe your desire involves just like a completely shift in your life. Maybe your desire involves a necessity of clarity, of honesty, of stripping off any illusions, maybe a change in behavior of yourself. Um, and I even got the feeling that for some of you, I don't know if all of you, maybe you were desiring to maybe like a relationship come back from the dead. Like maybe you had like a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, and maybe things ended between the two of you, and you had this desire to maybe come back together. For some of you, that might be the case, or even for others of you, maybe you were like fired from a job, and then you are waiting for this company, for example, to call you back, to give you back like maybe the same spot that you have, the same position or something of the sort. For others of you, maybe this is like breaking bad habits, breaking bad patterns, toxic patterns. Um, so this is all that is involved in this desire. Um, then in the second position here, I ask the cards like to show us if your desire is aligned with your highest good, because sometimes we desire things that maybe are not aligned with your highest good. So it's always nice to ask if if the things that we desire are truly meant to us. And there are two cards to respond this question. The first one is the Three of Swords, that you see this woman with the aching heart, like with the heart that is bleeding here, and she looks terribly sad, and we see these menacing swords over her head. And we see too the Four of Swords, and we see this beautiful, beautiful card that we see like the swords forming like this beautiful bed, and just like this beautiful girl is like sleeping in the middle of the desert, like totally comfortable and protected from the sun and just having a really good nap apparently here. So I think that this message will vary depending of the theme that we were talking here. So I will give you multiple interpretations and you can see where does this message fit you. Uh, for those of you who are desiring to go back to an old relationship, I think that maybe you should be careful, like going back to the same old person, because maybe there are unhealed aspects. Maybe this person could like hurt you again, hurt your heart again, and there's like a time period for you to like heal your heart, like replenish your energies, organize your thoughts so that your thoughts can heal you and not hurt you, because the swords in the tarot, they represent our mental plane, the air aspect of mind. So we see here in the Three of Swords that there is this like three swords that are menacing. They are like almost threatening this woman, like to perforate her heart again. And here in the Four of Swords, we see like the swords in a different position. Like the swords are the structure of the bed that are holding comfortably and helping the girl heal. So it's like the difference between thoughts that make you down, make you spiral down in these bad feelings, in these difficult feelings, and that hurt your heart again and again. Maybe, for example, if you were betrayed by a partner, then you like, my dog is, she's here. Maybe you were betrayed by a partner, and like the thoughts of the betrayal, they come back again and again to your mind, and they pierce your heart again and again, and they just make you closed off to all other humans, all other relationships, for example. And here is in the Four of Swords, we see like the thoughts are the structure for your healing, and they are giving you the support for you to get comfortable and to heal. So maybe not that your desire is not meant for you, but maybe you should give yourself a time to rest and recuperate and to heal, like organize and take care of your thoughts so that they can uplift and heal you and not drag you down. So this is what I'm seeing. This applies to if you are trying to like break a bad habit or something of the sorts, like maybe there is past trauma associated with that, like why you started this bad habit in the first place. So be gentle with yourself, like how can your thoughts be this gentle and comforting as this bad, as the ones in the card, like your mind, your thoughts are protecting you and not hurting you. You know, sometimes we need to take care of our thoughts in this way, so that they can take care of us and heal us too. Maybe ask for help too if you feel like that these feelings and these thoughts are so like strong. Maybe you could ask for help or professional help or give you some time to heal. Um, but don't stay like in the cocoon forever, because there is a message here in this judgment card that the heart of man, the heart of humanity, is not meant to be closed off forever in a cocoon. It was meant to to fly away like a butterfly, to just emerge from the cocoon and fly and mesmerize everyone and everything with this divine light and symphony that touches and moves every creature on earth. So there is, I think, in this pile, a message for the heart, to open up your heart, to take care of your thoughts so that you can recuperate and don't be so close off. Then I ask the cards to show how you should get what you want, and it appeared the devil card, and we see like this really foggy image here with a lot of currents. I don't know if this is the name of it. Um, it seems like a prisoner chains here, the chains, iron chains, tying you down in a mental state that is foggy, that is elusive, that makes you stay stuck in something. And in the little corner of the card, we see this door, like with the light blue sky and the sun. Um, because the Sufis, they don't believe like the devil is an external force. It's more an inner thing, our inner feelings, our inner thoughts, our shadow selves that makes us stuck. So this card is telling you like to look properly because you will see a way out, an exit here. Uh, and this has to do with healing your heart, with resting, with recuperating here. And for those of you who were specifically asking, like to go back to maybe a partner or maybe to a job, maybe you should like look properly, like with the eyes of discernment here. Uh, like with the music that cuts the illusion. Um, because it's a card of judgment, right? Like to use your own intellect, your own judgment in your favor, and see like if this person that you want to go back to, is this person really changed? Are you going back to the same situation over and over again? Like, what are the chains that make you stuck? What makes your soul free? And to really judge that. And um at the same time, if you were hurt by someone, like don't stay in a state of isolation, of not trusting others forever, because this is really painful too. Like we are creatures that are all interconnected, and like to make yourself isolated because of fear of being hurt again, it's really sad. And um like it's not healthy too. Every time that our heart breaks, like we put a trust in someone or something and it didn't turn out the way we expected, we are we get hurt, but at the same time our capacity of judging, of judging the character of others, maybe to noticing like the signs when something is for us, or when something or someone is honest or not, it's getting refined. We become more attuned, just here as with the flute and the music in this card. So you don't need to isolate or to not trust humans forever. And you can find a way out of this dark mental spot that maybe you are on, right? um or even like if you're trying to heal a bad habit or something like that, you can find a way out. There's always like healthy parts of our minds. Even the most like sick person in the world, like there's still like a healthy part on us, like a way out that we can find in any given situation, right? And you can be shown the way if you rest, if you recuperate, if you choose your thoughts more wisely. Um, in the final card, I asked, uh, after you get what you desire, what advice the universe, your guides, your higher self, they would give you? Because sometimes we are so focused on the goal that we don't think beyond that. And sometimes there are devices or challenges or opportunities that we can have after we achieved the goal. And you got the full card here. And I think this is like a confirmation for you that you will feel like truly liberated after you achieve what you wanted. Like maybe there is truly a new beginning here, as we saw here with the judgment card. Like we can have new beginnings and new lives in just one life, you know? You don't need to like wait for your next life, you know, for you to have a change in this one. Sometimes we go for such deep changes in ourselves, in the way that we think, in the way that we perceive the world, that it's like we are a completely different person than we were from before. And we are truly renovated, more with faith, more aligned, more trusting, because the full card is a card of trust too. Like usually it's a person depicted in the edge of a mountain or of a desert or something like that. And she's not afraid to cross the desert because she knows that she's protected by spirit and by herself, by her guides. So she trusts the process and open up her head, her heart, and she takes action and she takes new adventures and she opens herself to the new. So this is like the advice for you, and I will finish your reading your eating. I hope that you can see it. The book is in Portuguese, but I'll try to translate instantly. um, so you got the 19th hexagram. It's called Ling in Chinese. I don't know if my pronunciation is correct. But the translation would be the approximation. And it says, let people to get close to you. There will be 8 months of good luck in which you should build the basis to a solid future. So this is a really amazing card, eating, because it's saying that for you to allow other people to get close to you, and it's a promise of 8 months of good luck. So maybe you will encounter people that will be really, really important for your soul development. This can be in any area, maybe your relationships, your friendships, maybe your work life, in whatever area that your desire is about. It's a promise to find good people that will help you out a lot and that will give you just extra help. So after you receive this reading, the next 8 months there will be like some promising encounters and meetings with people that can really help you, but you need to be a little bit at least open to let people in, let good people in to help you. And let's see what the card says. So they are explaining the trigrams. It says that the superior trigram is Kun, the receptive, the earth, and the inferior trigram is Tui, the serenity, the lake. And then they start at the image. The earth is above the lake. This is the image of the approximation, of the consideration of a person that is in a higher position for someone that is in a place below her. The lake is really deep and the earth is really wide because it holds all the beings and all things. The judgment is the approximation will generate good results. It's time of happiness and hope. We should decrease the distance between us and other people that could take advantage of our company or find something useful that we give them, as well as we can get some benefits of other people's companies. It's um, recommended to act in groups or alongside other people. We should forget our prejudices and our mistrusts so that we can be 100% sincere. There will be 8 months of good luck in which you should build the basis of your future. It says too that the success is guaranteed when the time comes. It's necessary to work, to be perseverant, and to let other people to get close to you without the fear that they can take advantage of you. Everything will be really, really good. Um, I don't know if the translation was a little bit too bad, but basically, it's a card that's telling you to trust others, to let other people in your life, and that in the next 8 months, you will have good luck of finding good people, of meeting them, and that working with them, of opening up to them, to being honest with them, will help you to have these amazing results and to achieve your desire. So, this is the message for you. I hope this could help you. And bye bye. Hi, third group. You who chose this man-made stone, this sparkling stone. This is the message for you. I pulled cards from the Sufi Tarot. And I will explain every one in the positions and the card meanings. In the end, I will complement your reading with an advice from the I Ching. So let's get started. The first card that you got is the Five of Cups in reversed, and I asked the cards to give like the theme of your desire, so that I can understand better this is about. And you see in this image the woman, she's completely sad and kind of depressed. We see the broken cups here and other 2 cups that are intact, but the woman is like she's not even perceiving the 2 cups they're still holding. She seems like completely engulfed in sadness, in grief. And I think your desire is the intention to get out of this sadness, of these depressing feelings. Maybe some of you may feel that maybe I don't know, you're feeling like something was broken and you can get it to like the previous state before it was broken, or even like there is a sense of bad luck. Like, I don't know why, but when I it reminds me like when you broke a mirror and like you feel like you are being really given bad luck, and you feel like that you are just losing things and things are breaking or something like that. And there's this overall like despair, like it's like, oh my god, like why things don't stop breaking, why it seems that I'm with this bad luck, how can I make these sad depressing feelings go away? So there is like, I think, the desire to get out of this position. So here in these two cards, they fell when I asked um, if this desire of yours is aligned with your highest good, because sometimes we think like, the thing that desire is meant for me, or we think that what we want it will liberate us or it will be good for us, and sometimes that's not the case. So I always try to check out with like spirit, like uh, if our desires they are motivated by our true will, or if it's more like an ego-based thing, or if there is some higher perspective that we are not aware of. So we got two cards. One is a major arcana, and it's the alchemist in reversed. And we see like this kind of mage, like he seems to be studying, looking to a lot of papers and books, and we see like papers flying, and in his back we see an open window with many planets here. And this is the first card, and the other card that fell is the Seven of Cups, that we see like this woman, she seems so worried, her hands are around her head, and she's looking to this table with many different cups. Ha! It's interesting. There is this theme of cups here. Um, and these cups are filled with many different precious stones, and she's like, oh my god, which one I pick? Like, because sometimes the Seven of Cups is a card that you must choose, or in this case is a card that alerts you to make decisions based on the spiritual and not just only in the material here. um and this makes me think in a lot of things. um so I will give some interpretations, and you can see which one fits your situation the best. uh there is this theme of the cups here, right? And the cup, you fill the cup with something, right? And we see the table here in the alchemist, the magician card, filled with books and stuff like that. And here we see the woman filled, the cups filled with precious stones. So I think that maybe this pile, you are really over stressed, because maybe there's so many things filling your mind. I think even though we are seeing the cups here are more like the sad feelings, depressed feelings, and the feelings talking a lot here in conjunction with the moon card, that is a card of emotion too. uh but here we see like the mind playing a big part on it. It's like you're super busy, you're super occupied, your mind is filled with a lot of things, there's a lot of options, there are a lot of things to do. You're like, oh my god, what should I do? um some of you may be dealing with a person in a higher position than you. Maybe it's your chef, maybe it's your parent, I don't know, and maybe they are imposing a lot of work to you or a lot of things to you, and you need to take care of just many obligations, many papers, many things, and like to serve many guests or to serve many people and to take care of a lot of different things. And maybe even if you are receiving a good amount of money as compensation, you are kind of like, oh my god, this is so much pressure. And this person is just, my boss is so like, or my parent or whatever, this person is so like, they are so like mean, they are not considerate of the feelings of others. The way that they speak, it's arrogant. Maybe there is something like that, and maybe like even you are receiving a good compensation for your job, you're like, oh my god, I don't think I can keep doing that. Oh my god, like maybe I should quit this job and uh just throw everything, there is just like this sadness, this confusion, this fear like, oh my god, but if I quit, I don't know what should I do, or something like that. And and maybe on the contrary, maybe you might be, um how can I say it, uh, maybe you are just so in this busy mode that maybe you are the one who maybe it was inconsiderate of the feelings of others or something like that. Maybe you are the boss and maybe you have like so many responsibilities, and maybe you are not seeing that maybe this pressure that you are feeling, you're kind of depositing, feeling others with this same pressure too, because it's something that's passing on, uh but I think that with this message here is, first things first, I saw this, the planets here and the moon here. I think if you know astrology and you know your chart and the transits, maybe you will see a transit, astrological transit, that is talking about this pressure. Maybe transits with Saturn or Mars, maybe playing out here. Uh, but the most important message that I got is that for you to don't look so much at the physical of the situation and look to the underlying spirit thing that I will talk about in a moment. And it was super clear with your eating. It will make total sense. I think I will even bring the eating sooner than I was thinking, because I think it plays like a big role here in your reading. Um, so yes, like don't look at the things, the physical things as they are, because they could change. Maybe you are thinking of giving up of a situation that is really pressuring you, and you think that you are about to break, from this depression, as we see here, and you think maybe it's best if I just give up, or if I just like get out of this situation, or leave this job, or leave this person, or just like throw the papers all all in, throw the papers out and just leave. But the cards are saying, whoa, stop a little. Maybe you are reacting out of fear and confusion here with the moon card. At the same time, if you stay quiet and you reflect and you trust your intuition, you will see your way in the darkness, because we see the wolves here. And the wolves are creatures that they can see in the darkness and guide themselves in the darkness. And you will find your path. But initially, when we are in a dark forest at night, everything is something that might scare us, because we are not adapted to the woods, right? We can see humans can't see clearly at night. Every move of the branches of the tree, it can scare us when we think it's a monster, when it was just like the branch of the tree. So it can be when the moon card is in reversed, it's almost as if our emotions, our confusions, our fears, they are clouding our judgment. And sometimes we can do rushed decisions based on this. So the cards are telling you to stop because there is an underlying emotional and spiritual truth and exit to your troubles. That maybe because you are so busy or so focused on the physical, on what is apparenting or what is happening, that maybe you are disconnected with this quiet inside, with this calmness and this intuition that brings you to this calm state so that you can hear like spiritual truths that will guide your way. And we see the moon here and the moon here. So there is the moon here is like crescent and here is like full. So we see in time in regarding the timing that the things are building up and you are like in the slow beginning of it, and there will be a state of completion and happiness, and we will be free of the situation here with the Three of Cups. uh, uh, that is completely different feeling from the Five of Cups here. Like there will be a lot of celebration and cooperation even, and feeling full and feeling happy and feeling free, like as if this Five of Cups never happened. But you need to quiet down, to calm down, and to hear principally like the advice from the eating that I think will make every sense to your reading. You'll bring this sense and will tie all the loose knots in your reading. So let's go to that. So I'll show you the book. It's in Portuguese, but I'll make some instant translation here. You got the 10th, I don't know, hexagram that in Chinese is Lu, and it translates to Portuguese, to English is as the conduct, and it says like so: the doors open for those who knows how to be correct and lovable. Um, that person that respect others always will find success. And we see like these two men bowing to each other. Mm. And the trigrams are two. The superior trigram is Tian, the creative, the sky, and the inferior trigram is Tui, the serenity, the lake. Um, right. So I will tell you what this card is about. This card is about like you being kind, you being polite, you being gentle and respectful, even when someone is not being the same to you. And principally if it's someone in a higher position. Um, I know that this advice it it's not to be applied in every situation that we have like this difference in power and someone is maybe being rude or abusing the power against the weaker ones in like a different position that doesn't have so many power and resources. um but considering that both in the Sufi tarot and both in the I Ching there are cards that have this message of fighting back your rights, or to like take the king that was being evil or being corrupt, Um, Considering that there are cards in both the Suf Tarot and the Ching that would advise you to protect yourself with maybe like legal measures or to more fierce measures. Considering that, uh, I see that your situation is one of those kind of situations that maybe, you know, when you hear like a fairy tale and that you see like the princess that is so kind, and she's so kind that even the evil witch kind of changes her ways and treats the princess better and have a change of heart, and everyone in the end is happy. I know that it's hard to believe, but I think your situation is one of those situations in the real life. The cards are advising you with the eating, like even the situations like messy, even like if you have many things to do, maybe your superiors or your father or mother or someone with a higher hierarchy is demanding a lot of you. Maybe they are treating you unfairly. And even like if the compensation of in terms of material goods or benefits are really good, but you are like kind of stressed, like, oh my god, like this doesn't compensate like the stress and the sadness that I'm feeling. I feel like I will break down if things continues like that. um Even if you are thinking to leave, I think the cards are telling you that this is more a phase. Maybe like your boss or this person in a higher hierarchy, they are having like a bad time in their personal lives, and they are not being able to separate something for another. And I know that is totally unfair, like maybe what they are doing to you, and you shouldn't have to like put up with anyone being rude to you or just disrespecting your boundaries. And I think in most of the situations, the best thing would be to leave or to put some boundaries and like to not tolerate the situation. I think there, in your situation in specific, in this case that you asked about in this reading, there is like this deep spiritual truth that is telling you that if you be gentle and polite and treat people well in the situation, they will have like a change of heart and a change of attitude that you'll be totally shocked, you know. It's like, if for example, if you go back to the example of the boss that is treating you unfairly, is really angry, is really like giving you a lot of work to do unfairly, and is being kind of rude, and like maybe you respond to this boss in a way like, oh my god, I see that you are really upset, you are kind of stressed, I perceive that you are in this way, did something happen, or just treat kindly, like you don't uh, respond in the same level, you respond like in a higher level. It's like immediately this person kind of softens up, and they tell you, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm really being like a terrible boss right now. It's just that I'm having troubles in my house, and like maybe my mother is having troubles in health, and I think that I can't handle everything, and now I'm realizing that I'm just passing these frustrations to you. I'm so sorry. And then like the situation changes like completely, you know, and then your boss starts like treating you with respect. He apologizes, maybe he gives you some days off, maybe I don't know, the way that he speaks to you totally changes. Maybe you can even get a better position, higher position of trust because of that. um whatever. You know, yeah, it's just a little scenario that I created to kind of translate the energies that I'm seeing. And there's just overall sense of everybody's happy, you know, and everything was solved out. And even though the situation looked at first really depressing, really like there is nothing left to do, should I quit it? And then, like, because of this deep spiritual truth that is to treat others with kindness, everything changes, and it's like really impressive and mind blowing. And then everybody's happy at the end. This is what I'm seeing. So I hope that this might have helped you, and I hope that you like it. And bye bye.